right back here on the Rich Eisen Show after a fun chat back in November is the head coach of Clemson football, Dabo Swinney. How are you, Coach?
I'm great. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. Of all teams for you to be facing, it's Alabama. Have you paused at all about and reflected about your journey to this game through the Crimson Tide path that you took at all?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. As I said yesterday, God's got a real sense of humor. That's for sure. My first ever national championship game, been coaching a long time, and 20 years or so, been trying to get back to the national championship and finally get that opportunity, and doggone if it isn't against Alabama. I think there's a lot of irony in that, but I think it's great. I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't really want it any other way, because we want to be the best and represent the best, and I think Alabama has been the standard. I mean, this is their fourth national championship in 7 years. That's just unbelievable to me, to wrap my mind around that. And so to have the opportunity to play that type of team and program, and certainly, Coach Saban is as good a coach as has ever coached the game. It's a privilege to compete against them, and if we're fortunate enough to win the game, then I think there can be no doubt the type of team that we have.
I've got Dabo Swinney, a former walk-on wide receiver at Alabama, although I guess you can't say you're once a walk-on, always a walk-on. Right, Coach?
Yep.
Correct?
Yep. I earned a scholarship.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Still, it's all about how you got there.
That's right. And how much contact have you had with the man who gave you that scholarship that he has said over and over again that you earned, Gene Stallings? How much contact do you have with the former Alabama coach?
Oh, tons of contact. I talked to him last night, as a matter of fact.
Is that
right? Had a great conversation with him last night, and talked to him quite a bit. And he's been a great mentor for mine for many, many years. Even since we've gone our separate ways.
And how I was about to say, how much is the Clemson program based in what you learned and picked up from Coach Stallings?
Oh, a ton. I mean, he I spent 7 years with him, so a lot of the things that we did in those 7 years, I didn't, that's just all I knew. I didn't really understand or know anything different, and sometimes until you get exposed to other things, you don't really know what you know. I tell people all the time I learned more from Coach Stallings after he was gone, because, again, you get exposed to different things, and then you say, okay, well, now I see why he did it that way or whatever.
Sure.
And so forth. So a lot. I mean, he's a huge impact on me, but, I've drawn from a lot of mentors over the years, but certainly he's been my greatest influence.
And now let's talk about the here and now. I'm on the call with Walter Camp, Coach of the Year, AP College Football Coach of the Year, Maxwell Football Club Coach of the Year, Dabo Swinney from Clemson here on the Rich Eisen Show. So much is being made of the practice schedule because the spring semester has begun in Clemson today, won't begin next week for Alabama, so Alabama doesn't have any restrictions on practice time. What do you make of this, Coach?
I just think that's much ado about nothing, to be honest with you. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, everything was the same for us. Now today, Wednesday, today and tomorrow, yes, they could. Our guys started back school today. Yes, they could have maybe an extra walkthrough or an extra meeting, but this is game 15. I mean, they are who they are. We are who we are, and and then our guys, they get out of class tomorrow at like 12:30, and then they don't have anything. Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's all the same. So, I think that's just much ado about nothing. If I can assure you, if Alabama beats us Monday night, it's not going to be because they had an extra walkthrough or another 45-minute meeting. It's going to be because they earned it on the field and was better than us.
Yeah, we've heard that there's a petition going around campus in Clemson to have the spring semester delayed. So you're saying pump the brakes on that?
Yeah, we're in school right now. Our guys are in class right now. So, we're not changing a whole academic calendar for a football game. I mean, this is college.
Right.
And these are student athletes. This is what we do every week. So it's no different than it always is. I mean, Stanford, for example, I don't think they start school till like 3 games into the season. So that's just good rhetoric and something for people to talk about, but that doesn't have anything to do with the game.
I gotta be honest with you. I went to Michigan. I would have used this as an opportunity to maybe get out of about 5 days of classes. I would have done that, to be honest with you.
Hey, listen, we had a school record 48 guys make the honor roll this
congrats
fall,
on that.
and the highest team GPA we've ever had in school history. So, our guys are used to going to class and balance and all that stuff, so it's no big deal.
Well, speaking of balance, I spoke with Deshaun Watson the week before. He was going to the Downtown Athletic Club event, obviously, with the Heisman. And he just seems to have such a great head on his shoulders, a kid that started playing football and as a starting quarterback darn near barely as he was cracking his teenage years. Yeah. How has he been able to just keep his focus on the prize, from your estimation?
That's just how he's wired. I mean, that's why he's been so successful. I mean, his consistency in preparation and just his routine and how he goes about things, and he just never changes. It just doesn't matter what the situation is or the moment or the stage or whatever. He just has embraced it all and has a good perspective. He's just really wise beyond his years. So it's just really not a problem for him because he's so locked into what he's going to do on a daily basis, and he just doesn't get outside of that. He stays in his lane, if you will.
Mm-hmm. And so what is, in your estimation, watching film and having practiced so far for Alabama, is your biggest challenge come Monday night?
Woo, man, there's a long list of those challenges. First of all, they're by far the best defense that we've seen. I mean, they're about number 1 in the country in just about everything. Mm-hmm. This is a complete football team in every sense of the word. Obviously, well coached. Defensively, they, like I said, lead the world in about everything. And they're veterans over there. I mean, they got 11 guys in their defensive line, just in the D line. And all of them are seniors and juniors. 9 of them are seniors and juniors. They got 1 freshman and 1 sophomore in their top 11. I mean, they play a ton of guys. So really deep, talented, and experienced all over the defense. So that's probably, just number 1. And then you flip over and you look at their offense. By far the best offensive line we've seen. They got the Heisman Trophy winner who's gone for over 2,000 yards. They're very balanced. They got receivers with 80 catches, 60 catches, 30 catches. They spread the ball around. Got an athletic tight end. They're just a complete football team. And then you turn on the special teams, and Cyrus Jones has 4 touchdowns, punt return. I mean, this is a dangerous group. So that's why they are where they are. They're very much a complete group, and you just have to play well in all 3 phases. It's a razor thin margin for error. Playing a team like this, but we're pretty good too.
Yes, you
are. So we look forward to competing against the best.
Yeah, I was about to say that to you, Coach. With Dabo Swinney here on the Rich Eisen show, that you've got there are no slouches on the defensive side of the ball for yourself. And we just mentioned about Deshaun Watson and how clearly he was a young man who was deserving of the Heisman and didn't win it. And there is the guy, as you just mentioned, who did win the Heisman on offense for Alabama. Do you think there's anybody on the defensive side of the ball wearing orange that would like to make sure Derrick Henry does not have a good game so they could prove in their mind who the real Heisman winner is? Do you think there's any sort of motivation on that front?
Well, I think the main motivation needs to be they better, whatever it is to get them motivated, whatever that needs to be, fine.
Yes.
Because if we're not motivated to stop Derrick Henry, then it's going to be a long night for the Tigers in the desert because he's a different animal. And I'm going to tell you what, 17 Drake is a great player too. Mm-hmm. I don't think people talk enough about him, but Derrick Henry is. I mean, he's just a brick house, and this looks like he's like a defensive lineman at tailback.
Yes.
So you got to hit him and tackle him and gang tackle him, and you got to fit everything right. So this is a strength on strength game. I think we're really good in the defensive line. They're really good in the offensive line, and that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to be the trenches. Our OL, their DL, and vice versa, and and who can win that matchup. And that's what it came down to in the Orange Bowl for us. I mean, we rushed for 312 yards, and they rushed for 67. And coming into the game, they were averaging 300-something yards a game rushing. And so, if, whoever can win that battle, or at least, make it a draw, then it can come down to some other things, some other X factors. But yeah, we better be highly motivated to stop at number 2, because if we're not, it's a long day.
Last one for you, Coach. I'm a next level guy with the NFL Network, and on Saturday I'll be tuned in to watch a couple of playoff games featuring 2 of the best that Clemson has sent at the wide receiver position to the next level. On Saturday wild card game, DeAndre Hopkins for the Texans, and then on Saturday night, Martavis Bryant for the Steelers. I don't know if you're aware that Big Ben, during your preparations for this game, if you heard Big Ben say that Martavis Bryant needs to be toughen up a little bit for this game. I don't know if you heard that, and if so, what you thought of that.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, but I didn't hear that. But good for him. I mean, I think Ben's the leader of that team, and he's there every day and watches all the tape. And if he thinks he needs to toughen up, then by net he needs to toughen up. That's what I'd say. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and question Ben. He knows what's going on over there. I hadn't really seen him play much, but I know this. That ball is going to kind of find its way to Martavis Bryant, and because he's going to make some plays, and then Nuke Hopkins, man, what a special year he's had, and a special career to this point. I mean, just a Pro Bowler this year, and really proud of him, and really all of our guys. I think we got 38 guys in the NFL right now.
Wow.
And it's fun to really watch all those guys and keep up with them, and proud of all of them.
Yeah, and Watkins had a day against Darrelle Revis in the finale of the season, and he has truly blossomed. Are you expecting to see him on Monday in the desert?
Oh yeah, all them guys will be out there.
They will.
Yep, they'll all be there. We'll have a huge contingency. They've all been texting and all that type of stuff. So looking forward to seeing all those guys.
Hey, Coach, thanks for calling in. Truly appreciate it, and good luck to you. Let's chat down the line.
Hey, I appreciate it. Take care.
You got it. That's Dabo Swinney, head coach of the Clemson Tigers, before the biggest game of his life and his career here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.